Today we are making one of my most favorite snacks, and that is roasted garbanzos or chickpeas. We're going to be making those in the air fryer, so come along on our journey. Welcome to Ridgehaven Homestead. From the mountains of Upper East Tennessee, we share snippets of our off-grid life, cabin build, and garden blessings. Pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back, and take a peek into our off-grid home and family. This is a snack that is not only nutritious, but it's delicious. When you roast your chickpeas, it kind of turns them from something soft and delicious to something crunchy and savory and really, really good for a snack. You will not believe how they transform when you either roast them in the oven or the air fryer. If you do it in the air fryer, it'll be a little bit faster and they tend to get a little bit crunchier, but it's just fine in the oven. I want to start out with a 15.5-ounce can of garbanzos. We want to open those and drain them well, rinse them off, and then pat them dry with a paper towel or a clean kitchen towel. I like to keep the juice from my garbanzos because I like to add it to different recipes. It's a nutritious broth, and you can actually make aquafaba, you can make whipped cream and different things, or you can just add it to other things for the nutrients. Go ahead and give your chickpeas a good rinse. Once you have your garbanzos rinsed, you can go ahead and lay them out on your paper towel or a clean kitchen towel and just give them a really good drying off. You want to make sure they're pretty dry. Actually, you want to make sure they're very dry so that the seasonings will stick and so that they roast properly. Oh, and if your paper towel springs a leak like mine, you have to deal with that. Some of the skins might come off, and that's okay. If you want to take them off when you're rubbing them, that's fine, or you can leave them on. I don't take mine off on purpose, but some beans lose their skins a little bit easier than others. I am going to be using my air fryer pan, and I'm going to be lining it with parchment paper. I already have my oven. I'm using my countertop oven today. It's already preheating, and I have my spices out that we're going to be using. Carefully transfer your beans onto your air fryer sheets. You don't have to use the parchment paper, it just makes it a little bit easier. And then if you use the air fryer sheets, then you can just season it right on here. I have spread my garbanzos out on my air fryer tray, and I actually added another can because why not make a whole big batch? You just want to make sure you have one level layer. You don't want them mounded up on top of each other. Now comes the seasonings. You can season your roasted chickpeas however you prefer. The favorite seasonings that I like to use are salt, and this is actually garlic salt. I like to add a little bit of onion powder, cumin, and paprika. And I also like to add a little bit of ground turmeric. It just gives them a nice color, and it has that anti-inflammatory benefit. The other ingredient that we need is some olive oil. Now you can measure, and if you measure, you're going to need about a tablespoon per can of garbanzos, or you can just drizzle it over your beans. I'm just going to drizzle it. And then I'm just going to lightly kind of move them around to get them coated, or you can just shake them a little bit. You just want to have that oil on there because that holds the seasonings. Okay, now you feel free to add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt per can. You have rinsed and drained your garbanzos, and you want them to be a little bit salty, so it's okay to eyeball it on this recipe too. Per can, you want to add about 1/4 teaspoon of paprika and cumin. We have the paprika. We're going to go ahead and add the cumin. You can measure if you want. I just tend to kind of eyeball it. These are really also good with fresh dill or even dried dill. I just don't have any at the moment. A small sprinkling of paprika, of turmeric. It can be a little bitter. When they're done baking, I will add onion powder. If you add it during the baking, it can tend to burn and scorch, so we don't really want to do that till after. Okay, just give them a nice stir to coat all the seasonings well. This smells so good. That cumin is very fragrant. You don't have to add the cumin. You can, or the paprika. You can add only salt, and people like to add pepper. I don't usually like to use pepper, so you can use salt and Italian seasoning. You can add dill and onion. There's so many different ways you can do this, but you just want to make sure they get good and coated. I didn't add too much salt, so I'm going to add another little sprinkling of salt on these, and I'm going to get them back into their rows. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now just give them a good shake to make sure they're, or you can use your hands to get them in a nice layer. Give them some room to breathe. And that is all. Now all we have to do is pop this whole tray into our oven. You want to bake your roasted chickpeas for about 30 minutes at 400 to 425. If you're using your air fryer, you can adjust it accordingly. You just want to keep an eye on them and give them a little stir or a little shake here and there just to make sure that they are getting evenly roasted. But that's all there is to it. Let's check back in about 25 to 30 minutes. I can't resist getting some plain garbanzos ready to roast, and so I'm going to rinse these and put them on another baking sheet, and we are going to try another recipe along with this one. This one will probably have to be finished tomorrow, but this one is going to be roasted garbanzos, chocolate covered. The magic of YouTube. Here we are 30 minutes later, and we have our garbanzos. They have actually shrunken down quite a lot in size. You hear how crunchy they are? That's what we want. Crunchy, crunchy. Oh my goodness, they're so crunchy. Really, really good. Here you have them. You will know when these are done, when you can stir them and they kind of rattle around instead of sit there quietly. And then you want to eat them by the handfuls. It's such a great snack. It's really delicious. So that's very simple. I will come back next time and let you know how the roasted garbanzos covered with chocolate are. That'll be a whole nother thing because they're finishing roasting. But until this time, you go make these and you let me know how you like them. If you make them like this, let me know. They are quite delicious. And they're so much healthier for you than like chips. And now I wonder why I don't make them more often. They're so good. Okay. Enjoy your roasted chickpeas. Until next time, be safe, be well. May God bless you.